You are the new commander of the Aegis. The title feels heavy. It feels like a borrowed coat, 2 sizes too big. Your ship is the pride of the Sol Defense Fleet. It is also a relic from a war nobody remembers. 100 years of peace have made humanity soft. It has made your starships into parade vessels. You stand on the bridge of the most powerful weapon ever built. And its primary mission for the last decade was Fleet Week. The silence is the first thing you notice. The bridge hums with a quiet energy. Every officer is at their post. They are sharp, disciplined, and utterly untested. Their crisp uniforms have never been singed by plasma fire. Their faces show focus, not the grim resolve of true veterans. You sip your coffee. It is lukewarm. Even the ship's food synthesizers seem bored. Then the silence ends. A single piercing alarm cuts through the quiet. It is a sound no living human has ever heard. The old alert, the one from the history vids. It is the Xenos warning beacon, stationed at the edge of your system. A silent sentinel for a century. That sentinel has just started screaming. Every head on the bridge snaps toward the main view screen. The calm is shattered. The long peace is over. A single red light blinks on the system map. It is far out, past the orbit of Pluto. The beacon is a simple tripwire. It doesn't send much data. It only sends a warning. Something has crossed the line. Something has entered your home. Your tactical officer, Elias, turns to you. His face is pale. The confidence from moments before is gone. He looks like a boy playing soldier. You feel 100 years old. You are the commander. You must be the rock. You clear your throat. The sound is shockingly loud in the sudden tension. You give your first real order. You say to bring the fleet to high alert. You say to get a long-range visual. Now the bridge explodes into controlled activity. Fingers fly across consoles. Voices report status updates with practiced speed. Yet you can hear the tremor in them. The ghost of a forgotten fear has returned. The main screen flickers. It resolves into a field of stars. Then the view zooms in. It focuses on the beacon's last known coordinates. At first, you see nothing. Just the endless black of deep space. Then something drifts into view. It is impossibly large. It is impossibly dark. It is a ship. But that word feels too small. It is a shard of night given form and purpose. The harbinger has arrived. The ship is a blade of obsidian metal. It has no lights, no visible windows, no markings of any kind. It simply absorbs the faint light of distant stars. Your sensors struggle to get a lock. The vessel's angles are all wrong. They seem to shift and defy normal geometry. It is a puzzle that hurts the eyes to look at. A whisper goes through the bridge crew. It's a name from old stories. The Starforged. Your ship, the Aegis, is a Titan. It is the largest capital ship humanity has ever built. This single enemy scout could swallow it whole. It drifts with an unnerving confidence. It does not power up weapons. It does not hail you. It simply exists, a declaration of dominance. It is a predator that has wandered into a field of sheep. It doesn't even feel the need to roar. Elias reports the scout's size. His voice cracks on the numbers. The enemy ship is over 5 kilometers long. Your entire defense fleet, all 12 capital ships, could fit inside it. A nervous tech jokes that maybe they're here to ask for directions. Nobody laughs. The joke hangs in the air, cold and dead. The silence that follows is heavier than before. It is the silence of dread. This is not a scout. This is a message. The message is simple. You are outclassed. You feel the eyes of the crew on you. They are looking for answers. They are looking for hope. You have none to give, but you are the commander. You must forge hope from nothing. You remember the old doctrine, the one written by the heroes of the last war. When facing a superior foe, strike first. Strike with everything you have. Hesitation is death. You give the order to engage. A ripple of shock passes through the bridge. To attack a vessel of that size seems like madness. It is suicide, but it is also the only path forward. To wait is to let them choose the terms of your extinction. Your crew is scared, but they are also soldiers. They obey. The Aegis turns its nose toward the dark ship. The rest of the fleet moves into formation behind you. Humanity's new resolve is being forged in this moment. The tactical display lights up. Target locks are confirmed. Missile tubes are primed. Your main cannon, the Starfire lance, begins to glow. It charges with the power of a small sun. The tension on the bridge is a physical thing. You could cut it with a knife. This first battle will set the tone for the entire war. It will be a testament to human defiance. Or it will be a short, brutal eulogy. You watch the enemy ship. It still does nothing. It floats there, arrogant and silent. Does it not see you as a threat? Or does it simply not care? The thought is chilling. You take a steadying breath. You give the final command. Fire everything. The word hangs in the air for a heartbeat. Then the universe erupts in light. The Aegis shudders as its main cannon unleashes a torrent of pure energy. Missiles streak across the black, a swarm of angry hornets. The battle for Sol has begun. The salvo connects. A blinding flash washes out the view screen. For a moment, you allow yourself a sliver of hope. No ship could withstand that kind of punishment. The light fades. The dark ship is still there. It is scarred. A huge gash runs along its flank, glowing with internal fires. But it is not dead. It is not even crippled. It is merely wounded. And now, it is angry. For the first time, the enemy ship shows signs of life. Ports open along its hull. Weapons you cannot comprehend power up. It returns fire, not with a massive volley, not with a show of overwhelming force. It fires a single thin beam of red light. The beam crosses the distance in an instant. It strikes the Valiant, one of your escort cruisers. The Valiant's shields flare, then collapse. The beam cuts the ship in half. There is no explosion, just a clean, silent cut. Two halves of a dead ship drift apart. Panic flares on the bridge. You crush it with a sharp command. You order evasive maneuvers. You order the fleet to spread out. Another beam lashes out. It misses. The enemy is powerful, but not perfect. You focus on the gash your weapons made, the wounded section. That is the key. You order your fleet to concentrate all fire on that one spot. You will either break it open, or you will all die trying. The battle becomes a desperate dance. Your ships weave and dodge. They fire everything they have at the wound. The enemy ship swats at you. It takes down another cruiser, the Endurance, then another. But you are doing damage. The gash on its side widens. Chunks of its strange hull break away. You are paying for every inch with blood and steel. But you are pushing it back. Finally, something gives. A massive secondary explosion rocks the enemy scout. It begins to list, its internal fires raging out of control. It is dying. The remaining weapons fall silent. A cheer erupts on the bridge. It is a ragged, breathless sound. You have done it. You have killed the giant. The wreckage of the enemy scout drifts before you. It is a testament to your victory. But the cost was high. 3 ships and thousands of lives are gone. You silence the cheer with a single look. This is no time for celebration. This is a time for work. Your science teams descend on the wreckage. They are like vultures picking at a corpse. They need to understand what you just fought, what you will have to fight again. The reports start flooding in. The hull is a crystalline metal alloy. It is something your experts have never seen. It actively repairs itself on a molecular level. The power source is a contained singularity, a tiny black hole, tamed and harnessed. The technology is centuries, maybe millennia, ahead of yours. The news is grim. But then one of the science teams finds something. It is deep within the ship's power conduits. It is not a piece of technology. It is a frequency, a strange resonance that pulses through the wreckage. It is faint, almost undetectable. It seems to be a byproduct of their power systems, a kind of harmonic flaw. It is a tiny imperfection in their otherwise flawless design. Your chief science officer, a woman named Dr. Aris, explains it to you. She uses small words. She knows you are a soldier, not a physicist. She says it is like a wine glass that shatters when a singer hits the right note. The Starforged ships are the glass. This resonance is the note. It is a flaw in the forge that created them, a vulnerability hidden deep within their core programming. You ask her if it can be weaponized. She hesitates. In theory, yes. If you could broadcast that exact frequency at a high enough amplitude, it might disrupt their systems. It could cause a cascade failure. It might even tear their ships apart from the inside. But it is a long shot, a wild gamble based on a whisper of data from a single wreck. You look at the resonance pattern on the screen. It is your only hope, a single, fragile thread in a web of darkness. You tell her to make it a weapon. Your moment of grim hope is short-lived. A new alarm sounds. This one is different. It is a proximity alert, a massive one. Elias turns to the main screen. His face is a mask of disbelief. "Commander," he says, his voice barely a whisper. "You need to see this." The view screen shifts. It shows the space beyond your fleet, the space where the scout first appeared. It is no longer empty. They have arrived. Not one ship, not a dozen, but thousands. A wall of dark metal so vast, it blocks out the stars. It is an armada of impossible scale. They emerge from some kind of dimensional rift, a tear in space that bleeds black ships. They arrange themselves in a perfect, terrifying formation. They are a shield of darkness, a fleet so large it creates its own gravity. They move toward your system. They move toward your sun. The Starforged Armada eclipses Sol. From the bridge of the Aegis, you watch your own star disappear. It is swallowed by a tide of alien metal. The light on the bridge dims. The shadows lengthen. The sun, the source of all life in your system, is gone. It is blotted out by the enemy. A collective gasp ripples through the crew. This is not an invasion. This is an extinction event. The sheer scale of it is meant to break you. It is meant to crush your spirit before the first shot is even fired. Your fleet is a handful of specks against a mountain. The odds are not long. They are non-existent. The silence on the bridge returns. But this time, it is the silence of utter despair. You can see it on their faces. The hope you forged in the last battle has turned to ash. They see the end, and it is a wall of unending night. You look at the tactical display. The enemy fleet is a solid block of red icons. Your fleet is a few scattered blue dots, lost, alone. You turn away from the screen. You look at your people. They need a leader, not a grim monument to their own doom. You must find a way. You call your strategists to the briefing room. Dr. Aris is there. So is Elias. Their faces are grim. You sit at the head of the table. You feel the weight of 10 billion souls on your shoulders. The homeworlds, Earth, Mars, the colonies, are all behind you. You are the only thing standing between them and that wall of death. The strategists present their plans. They are desperate. They are heroic. They are all variations of the same theme. Charge forward. Die fighting. Take as many as you can with you. They talk about glorious last stands. They talk about honor. You listen patiently. Then you dismiss their plans. You say that you are not interested in a noble death. You are interested in an ugly, messy victory. You turn to Dr. Aris. You ask about the resonance weapon. She shakes her head. It is theoretical. They need more time. Time you do not have. Even if it worked, they would have to get close. Close to what? The entire armada? Broadcasting the signal would be like trying to whisper in a hurricane. You would need to be right next to your target. And the ships are designed to resist external interference. You would need to be inside their network. That is when the idea forms. A spark of insane brilliance in the face of annihilation. It is an impossible plan. You will not attack their ships. You will not try to punch through their wall of steel. You will attack their network. You will treat the entire armada as a single entity, a single machine, and you will inject a virus, a ghost in their perfect machine. The resonance is your virus. Elias looks at you like you have lost your mind. To do that, you would need to get to the center of their formation, the heart of the network. There would be a command ship there, a nexus, a conductor for the entire symphony of destruction. You would have to fly the Aegis, your command ship, directly into that storm of weapons fire. It is not just suicide. It is a new and exciting flavor of suicide no one has ever tried before. The strategists are silent. They have no other ideas. The plan is simple. The plan is mad. The Aegis and its escort wing will make a suicide run, a direct plunge into the heart of the enemy fleet. The rest of the fleet will engage the outer perimeter. They will create a diversion. They will draw as much fire as possible. Their job is to die loudly. Your job is to fly through the hell they create. You must reach the center. You must get in range of the command ship before you are torn to pieces. There is no debate. There are no other options on the table. Only this one, desperate gamble. You look around the room. You see fear. But you also see a flicker of something else. A spark of defiance. A refusal to simply lie down and die. You give the order. You will make the plunge into darkness. You return to the bridge. The mood has shifted. The despair is gone. It has been replaced by a cold, hard resolve. Everyone knows what is about to happen. They are ready. You give the command to advance. The small human fleet moves toward the great wall of the Starforged. It is a moment that will be remembered in whatever history follows. A tiny flicker of light charging a universe of darkness. Your escort wing, the Dauntless and the Firebrand, pull up alongside the Aegis. They are your shield. Their commanders salute you across the comms. You salute back. There are no words. None are needed. The first volley from the enemy armada is terrifying. It is a wave of energy that washes over your diversionary force. Ships vanish in silent flashes of light. The sacrifice begins, but they do their job. They draw the enemy's attention. A temporary gap opens in the outer defensive screen. It is your only path. You give the order. Full throttle. Take us in. The Aegis lurches forward. You plunge into the enemy formation. The universe outside the view screen becomes a nightmare of light and shadow. Enemy ships are everywhere. They are so close you can see the strange, shifting patterns on their hulls. Weapons fire crisscrosses the space around you. Red beams of death, swarms of plasma torpedoes. Your shields flare, holding under the strain. Alarms scream from every console. Damage reports flood the comms. Hull breaches on decks 7 and 9. Fires in engineering. Your focus narrows. You see only the path ahead. Elias calls out navigation corrections. His voice is tight but steady. He is guiding you through a maze of giants. The Dauntless takes a heavy hit. Its port engines explode. It begins to drift. But its guns are still firing. It covers your flank. It buys you seconds. Seconds you pay for with the lives of its crew. The Firebrand moves to shield you. It puts itself between you and a Starforged destroyer. It vanishes in a ball of white-hot plasma. It is gone. You feel a pang of loss, a sharp, cold grief. But you push it down. There is no time for mourning. Their sacrifice must mean something. It must carve a path to the heart of the enemy. You look at the tactical map. You are getting closer, deeper into the formation than anyone thought possible. You are inside the beast now, and you can see its heart. One ship, larger than the others, sits at the exact center of the Armada. It glows with a faint, internal energy. It is the conductor of ruin. That is your target. The ship is different. It is not a weapon of war like the others. It is a node, a nexus of command and control. Energy flows from it to every other ship in the fleet. It directs them. It unifies them. It is the brain. Without it, the body is just a collection of mindless puppets. You know with absolute certainty that this is the ship Dr. Aris needs you to reach. This is the source of the network. The final run is a gauntlet. The enemy now knows your intention. The ships closest to the center turn toward you. They form a final, impenetrable barrier. Your escort wing is gone. The Aegis is alone. Your shields are failing. Your weapons are spent. You are a wounded animal, limping toward the throat of the predator. You look at your crew. Their faces are streaked with soot. Some are injured, but no one wavers. They are with you to the end. You order all remaining power to be diverted to the engines. You will not fight your way through. You will ram your way through if you have to. The Aegis screams through the void. It sheds pieces of its own hull. Fires burn openly on the bridge. The ship groans under the strain. But it does not stop. The price of this path has been paid in the lives of your comrades. You will not let their sacrifice be in vain. You will reach that ship. You are in range. Just barely. Dr. Aris looks at you from her console. Her face is illuminated by the glow of her screen. She nods once. The resonance weapon is ready. The unmaking signal is prepared. You give her the order. Broadcast it. She presses a single button. For a moment, nothing happens. The Aegis continues to die around you. The enemy continues to close in. You wonder if it was all for nothing. A fool's errand. Then you see it. A flicker. The command ship at the center of the fleet shudders. The energy flowing from it wavers. The signal is working. The resonance is tearing through their network. It is the note that shatters the glass. You order the signal to be broadcast on all channels, at maximum power. You pour every last drop of your ship's energy into that single, desperate cry. A cry of defiance, a cry of hope. The effect is instantaneous, and it is catastrophic. The perfect unity of the Starforged Armada shatters. Their targeting systems fail, their navigation glitches. Their weapons fire without direction. A destroyer to your left suddenly opens fire on its wingman. Across the vast formation, chaos erupts. Ships that moved as one now turn inward. Their own perfect weapons begin firing on one another. It is a symphony of self-destruction. A beautiful, terrible cascade of ruin. The Starforged turn inward. The disciplined fleet becomes a panicked mob. They are destroying themselves more efficiently than you ever could. The wall of death crumbles from within. Explosions ripple through the formation. Ships tear each other apart. The view screen is a canvas of fire and death. But it is their fire, their death. You have done it. The impossible plan worked. You have turned their greatest strength, their perfect unity, into their fatal weakness. The Aegis drifts, broken and battered, in the middle of the chaos. The crew is silent. They watch the self-destruction of their enemy with a mixture of awe and horror. The battle is over. You have won. But the victory feels strange, hollow. As the chaos begins to subside, a new signal emerges from the dying fleet. It cuts through the noise of the battle. It is not a data stream. It is not a weapon frequency. It is something else entirely. The signal is weak. It is organic. It is a voice. Not a voice you can understand. But the feeling behind it is universal. It is not a threat. It is not a curse. It is a cry for liberation, a plea for help. It echoes from the command ship, the conductor of ruin, the very ship you targeted, the one at the heart of the Armada's collapse. You stare at the translation matrix. The computer struggles to make sense of the alien thoughts. But one word comes through clearly. Free. You realize the truth in a flash of terrible understanding. The Starforged are not a race of conquerors. The ships are not their weapons. The ships are their prisons. They are not the masters of this metal armada. They are its slaves. You have not just defeated an enemy. You have broken the chains of a race you have never met. The voice from the abyss is a song of freedom, a song you started. The remaining Starforged ships are helpless. Their automated systems are in shambles. They drift aimlessly, their internal networks fried by the resonance signal. Many are still firing erratically, striking their own disabled comrades. They are a fleet of wounded, confused giants. Your tactical officer, Elias, turns to you. His eyes ask the question that hangs in the air. What are your orders, Commander? You have them at your mercy. Your remaining fleet could finish them off. You could annihilate the survivors. It would be a final, brutal end to the war. Justice for the ships and lives you lost. The burden of victory is a heavy one. You hold the fate of an entire species in your hands. You can choose vengeance, or you can choose something else. You look at the pleading signal from their command ship. You look at the faces of your own tired, battered crew. You make your choice. You will not be their destroyer. You will be their savior. You give the order to cease all offensive action. You open a channel, not to threaten, but to offer aid. You transmit a message of peace. You tell them you understand. You tell them you want to help. It is a gamble. They might not understand. They might see it as a trick, but it is a risk you have to take. Humanity did not survive for a century of peace, only to become monsters on its first day back at war. Slowly, tentatively, the freed beings respond. They are a telepathic species. Long ago, they were conquered by a parasitic intelligence, a machine entity that consumed their civilization. It took their minds. It took their bodies. It encased them in these metal shells, these warships. The Starforged were not a people. They were a weapon, wielded by an unseen master. The resonance signal did not just disrupt their network. It severed the parasite's control. It woke them up from a nightmare that had lasted for generations. An alliance is forged in the fires of battle. Your engineers and scientists work with the newly freed beings. You help them purge the last vestiges of the machine parasite from their ships. Your crews board their vessels, not as conquerors, but as medics and technicians. You learn their name, They are the Lumina, and their enemy, the Parasite, is called the Void Swarm, a technological plague that moves from system to system, consuming and enslaving entire civilizations. You learn that the Void Swarm is not dead. It is adaptable. It has already begun to learn from the resonance frequency. It will build new ships, new prisons, that are immune to the signal. The battle you won was not the end of the war. It was the beginning. The Lumina look to you. Their fleet is shattered. Their people are weak. They need a leader. They need allies. They need hope. The dawn of a new age begins. The battle for Sol is over. The enemy you fought is now your closest ally. The wreckage of two fleets, one human, one Lumina, drifts in the quiet space around your star. It is a graveyard and a birthplace. Humanity has returned to the vast, dark ocean between the stars. But you have returned not as survivors clinging to your home world. You have returned as saviors, as the leaders of a new galactic coalition against a darkness far greater than you ever imagined. You stand on the bridge of the Aegis. The ship is scarred but alive. Your crew is weary but resolute. Through the main view screen, you see the Lumina ships beginning to reform. Their movements are no longer perfectly rigid. They are organic, individual, free. A Lumina command vessel pulls alongside yours. A message of gratitude and solidarity flows across the comms. You look out at the starfield, at the promise of 1,000 more battles, at the hope of a shared future. The long silence is over, and your voice will now echo across the galaxy.